3, 2, 1, action.
Are you willing to donate your body? Got a problem with authority? Would you stop a speeding bullet? Are you afraid of the masked man? Come on! Bring it on! Think you've got a game?
Broadcasting live from the heart of Europe, this is the most badass hockey podcast in all the known land. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Shot from the Point Live. This week on Shot from the Point Live, we'll be covering Zdeno Chara. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. What will the Bruins do? Sad news out of Ohio. The Columbus Blue Jackets may be out with Nathan Horton forever. Degenerative back disease. We'll get into that as well. And of course, we couldn't do this show without covering the terrorist incident inside of Ottawa. Two, count them, 2 Islamic terrorism incidents in the home of professional ice hockey, and really ice hockey all over the world. We're going to get into that. We're going to try to be as funny as possible. Let's face it, it's going to be tough this week. So stay tuned. Episode 66, Shot from the Point Live. And from the Windy City, none other than the original of originals, none other than Chicago, Dead On Dave, and of course, newsman, bluesman from the heart of St. Louis, Jeff the Huffman. How are you, gentlemen? How are you doing today?
Pretty good. How about you?
Outstanding.
I'm drinking.
There was a terrible terrorist accident.
Well, yeah, but okay, look. The terrible terrorist act, does that have to fuck up my day? No, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. I feel bad for the people, but I'm going to drink a beer, and I'm going to enjoy some hockey, and we're going to talk some shit.
Actually, you know what I did before I got here? I actually went to this, and that's why I'm all dressed up and ready to do the town. I also cut a promo in this outfit, to be honest with you. What I did was I cut a promo, and I went to the 20th anniversary of the Wiesbaden Irish pub. Was probably, I don't know, this first or second pub I pulled some, German ass out of. So I figured, I figured I'd go back and give it the proper salute. Strangely enough, the owner's birthday is also today, which is bizarre. So
you know what I want to do for my birthday? I'm going to open a fucking pub.
Yeah, I'm going to open a pub.
To me.
And now he owns like 7 in the whole Rhine-Main area, if you can believe that.
It must be nice to be rich.
Yeah, he is now. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. All right, I'm going to get into it right away because, this show's going to be a little difficult, to say the least. And I covered this a lot within the Crazy Tommy Say, and it's the title of the show. Of course, we've had, count them, 2 terrorist incidents inside of the capital of the hockey, not even just the National Hockey League, the game itself. We had a situation where a soldier was run down unexpectedly by a recent Muslim convert inside of. Hey, Jeff, the first terrorist incident, where did that one take place? That was not in Ottawa, correct?
I'm sorry, you cut out.
The first terrorist incident, that was not in Ottawa. The one that where they ran over the troop over in Canada. There's 2. There's a shooting and there's one before that. Which really, honestly, I got to be perfectly honest with you, at least over in Europe, that incident only came up to light after the fact. Because I honestly, when I did my speech on, I think it was a Thursday, I had no idea that there was actually a prior terrorist incident inside of Canada. Do you know anything about that? You got that written down, or?
I actually do not.
I'm gonna be real. I only knew about the shooting.
Do you? Yeah. Are you aware of this?
Something.
Because I got to be honest with you, I don't think a lot of Americans. I'm not mad, by the way, that you don't have it. Because I got to be honest with you, I only found out about it recently. Are you aware of this the prior terrorist incident, Dave?
Which one?
The one where the soldier got run down. It's like 2 or 3 days earlier.
I only knew about the shooting.
You only knew about the shooting. So I'm glad we're bringing this up because we do have an American audience. There was he was sort of doing, from what I understand, and look, this is news to me. I'll be perfectly honest with you. When I cut my promo or my speech on Thursday, I honestly wasn't totally aware of this, but apparently, and I obviously have to do more research, there was a soldier doing something to the equivalent of the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and a recent Muslim convert ran him down and killed him. I guess they thought that was an isolated incident, and then only a couple days later did the Ottawa shooting happen.
Shooting in Parliament, yeah.
Yeah, the shooting in Parliament. Look, first and foremost, what I want to say, and I think the guys next to me feel the same way, is we want to give our unmitigated support to the wonderful people of Canada that gave us the great support of hockey. And the National Hockey League did something really special last night, even though Game Center couldn't have it on. I don't know if you know, I got a whole rant about Game Center, but I'm not going to do that now unless the mood strikes me. Oh, God, I got tongue-tied for a minute. Maybe because I've been drinking all night.
Maybe you should have drank more.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Maybe that would have helped.
Because right now I'm speaking intelligible, so I don't know that that would have been a good idea. So anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? God damn! Hold on a second. Everybody,
you're about to rant on Game Center.
Yeah, hold on.
Then he said he wasn't going to rant on Game Center.
Hold on, one more time.
Mika's been a jab.
All right, I'm good. So, look, we went over this ad nauseum as far as the Canadian incident goes. You want my opinion? Check out Thursday's edition in the Crease of Tommy Say. I think this is something that's absolutely tragic, but not unexpected, because I see the incident in Canada as not something that Canada didn't do, but rather the values that Canada holds. And I think just about every country in the world that holds similar values, Western liberal values, is basically under the same sort of threat. I keep on hearing this thing that Canada lost their innocence, and it's just stupid to me. It's a stupid conversation. They lost their innocence in the sense that a bunch of maniacs didn't roll into their country and kill them all, or try to kill them and try to commit some radical, make a radical scene, so to speak. Canada still has its innocence, if there is such a thing, which there really isn't if you think about it.
No, there's not.
There's not. It's stupid.
It's stupid.
But you know what? You know what that means, Dave? It's like, all right, America isn't innocent. Canada is, so this is why it's so shocking.
No, but it was a nice soundbite, you know?
Exactly. It's just a soundbite at the end of the day, but I don't want to make them. But here's the thing at the end of the day. It's Canada's values. It's not Islamic. And I got to be perfectly honest with you, even if it was Islamic, then they'd be all killing each other. I wrote this genocide apologist who got pissed off at my speech during the week, and I told him that he was a genocide apologist, which most of these guys are. And he told me that there was peace between Jews and Arabs for basically up until the oil was the issue in the Middle East, which is source code lie. And I sent him basically the Muslim Empire invasions of Europe, of Asia, from about 629 till about 1052, which is about the age of the Muslim Empire. And he told me when he saw that the Muslims were welcomed all over Europe and Asia. That's what we saw. So rather than getting a big political speech about it, I think that's just a good sign of what we're dealing with. They want you dead. Doesn't matter whether you like hockey or not. It doesn't matter if you're white or not. It's your country. It's your country's values. It has everything to do with that. And I mentioned in the speech, and I'm like fresh out of empathy and sympathy. I just don't have anymore. I would like the Western world, the civilized world, to unite and stop this sort of thing. Otherwise, Canadian soldiers, American soldiers, Australian soldiers, German soldiers, Italian soldiers, basically any country that's civilized will fall to this sort of madness. And this idea that it's Western. It's the West's fault that they're the way they are. Is really the problem of it's not.
It's ignorant.
The West would have never simply got involved with the Middle East had there not been an incident in Munich here in 1972, and it's just basically spun out of control since then. That's it. That's basically all I have to say with that, Dave.
Yeah, enjoy the show, guys, because I'll tell you this much. Buckle up. As George Carlin said, the terrorists are going to be coming out of the woodwork. This is nothing new, and it's not going to be stopping anytime soon. We're going to get more of it. It's going to be more glorified, more terrible, and it's going to be an atrocity. Enjoy the fucking show, because this is the world that we live in right now until somebody grows some balls and puts a fucking stop to it. Plain and simple.
And I could agree with you more. I just, I'm not pointing fingers here. It's just like I said that I said two things that might be controversial. I said it's never going to end, first of all, and the other thing is the radical Islamist, not the Joe Muslim that owns a donor shop in Germany that just wants to feed his family. Of course, we're not talking about him, but I'm sick of repeating shit like that. I got to be perfectly honest with you. But the radical Islamist can take haven in progressive and liberal thought. He can take haven basically under the protection of it's only a minority of Muslims, which is true, but no fucking shit. Nazi Germany was started by a minority of people that engaged in the Nazi Party. It was not a majority by any means. It was they were voted in, and they basically took the option to vote for them ever again. So the actual percentage of Muslim is an irrelevant conversation. The other is relevant conversation is what is the proper interpretation of Islam. Personally, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. In the long run, it doesn't matter. Humans are violent. Mm-hmm. We've been violent since the first caveman stuck another caveman in the eye with a fucking stick because he wanted his broad.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm watching Shank Unger, who is a genocide apologist. He's a typical liberal, and I'm watching this other liberal who's had enough of it. His name is Steve Harris, and I'm watching these two guys. They're arguing over the contents of the Quran and what it proves. And you know what? It was a very, very good debate. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's in it. It doesn't matter what's in it. It's what to be dealt with the people that take the Quran so-called the wrong way. I don't even know if the Quran's being taken the wrong way. I don't even know if it's being taken the right way. I don't know if the Quran. I don't know if the people that are running around, running planes in the building, murdering people, killing people in Ottawa. I don't know if any of them are actually interpreting the Quran correctly or incorrectly. And here's the best part. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care at all. What I want to know is, how do we get rid of this fascism that has been sort of accepted? This type of fascism is okay. If you're Islamic, it's okay if you hate gays, hate women, and murder people. For religious reason, that's protected in the West for some reason. But if the Westboro Baptist Church does it, then the left and the right are all over it, rightfully so. But for some reason,
big group,
what's that?
Violent group, non-violent group.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that because honestly, I think a group like the Westboro Baptist Church, had they been in the same position, and maybe they're in their infancy, would have 1.6 billion people to deal with. Yeah, I think they would be a real problem.
Sure, they absolutely could, because if it's not one
I think
group,
they would.
Ultimately, it will.
But they're
be
never
another.
going to be, because the people are united on their barbaric behavior.
Yeah, beliefs.
Yeah, we are united. Everybody can agree that the Westboro Baptist Church is a hate group, and it needs to be. And it's funny, like, they're allowed to exist in our country, unlike laws in Europe and stuff like that. They're allowed to exist in North America, yet be contained, and we can all maintain our free speech. But for some reason, Islam is beyond reproach in Europe and becoming that way in the United States and North America. And then you take a liberal country. I mean, God, fucking Canada's like Europe, from what I can see. You take a liberal country like Canada, and everybody's like, oh my God, how could they attack us? We were so nice to them. I mean, it's almost like the reaction of Denmark after they had that cartoonist draw the cartoon of Muhammad. And I remember seeing signs of Danish people holding, "Please forgive us," surrendering their values, surrendering what we're doing here, surrendering what we have.
Out of that very, very powerful thing called fear. Fear is an amazing motivator.
No, or I think in that situation, it's not just fear, because fear, you'd shut up. But in this case, it's the clinging of political correctness. We're clinging to it, so we'll hold up a sign to say we're sorry. And I personally, I don't care if people being killed over God or a stick figure or hockey or soccer or even if you just don't fucking like them. I'm tired of this shit, and I'm extraordinarily happy the way Canada and the United States has reacted to it. I'm proud of the way Penguins fans, especially whoever put Canada inside the Philly Pittsburgh Penguins game to open up that ceremony was nothing short of genius. That situation last night that we saw where they had a sort of a simulcast where Americans and Canadians embraced. And they said, where they showed consolidarity. But the type of consolidarity that I want to see is not, I care for you, Canadian, I care for you, American. We already know that. I want to see, I support you, and I'm going to do everything I can to keep this from happening again. And I got to be perfectly honest with you. I wish I had saw that.
It ain't going to happen.
It ain't going to happen.
Ain't going to happen.
And that's
it's impossible
and that's
right
the
now.
sad part. And look, we do normally open up with something more human, but I mean, I don't know how you ignore this. How do we ignore this? How do we go on with a dumb Shot from the Point show?
We just, you know what? That's the thing. You just do it. You don't dwell on it. We just move on.
Yeah, I mean, but I got to mention it, and I'm glad I did. And I unfortunately, I would not be surprised if we see a major terrorist incident inside of a Canadian hockey rink come in the future.
Sure.
Because
all over the world,
because here's what's going to happen. The government's going to figure out it. Me and Dave know this better than everybody. The government's going to figure out how to help those troops. But then they're going to move into civilian areas. And the top civilian area in Canada to hit would be Bell Center, Maple Leaf Gardens. Let's face it. If I was a maniac, if I was a raving maniac, that's what I want to hit, because that's where you're going to get your most bang for your buck.
Literally.
And I'm not saying something like that's going to happen. I'm trying to fearmonger. But had I been saying that the Canadians really ought to watch certain government buildings like 2 weeks ago, I'm sure you would have called me a right-wing kook. So, I mean, just think about that. And that's it. So we're taking your calls at 718-395-7660, 718-395-7660. Jeff, the Huffman. Actually, here's a video, Jeff. Hold on a second. Do I still have this video? No, here we go.
For crying out loud.
Go ahead with your news.
That's what Carolina fans are doing right now.
Oh God, they suck. You know what the thing is? I watched Carolina play, and they're playing hard. It's just there's no serious NHL talent there. I mean, you got to have at least one guy that can put it in the net.
Can't really use the Oilers as a joke anymore. They're on a nice little.
Well, it was that 4 in a row for them, right?
Yeah, they're on a nice little streak. So the joke now is the Carolina Hurricanes.
No, let's make fun of them now. I feel bad for Carolina. They have a lot of talent in that team, but all of it's hurt. I got to be honest with you too. Like, I like their coach. I can't even say I like their coach. I saw them play the Rangers last week, and they played a very sort of New Jersey Devils 1995-96 sort of style. But I think they're playing this very, very box system because they simply don't have the speed on the wings or up the middle to make anything happen. So it's quite sad what's going on over there. Well, it's
a bad team. It's not sad. It's a bad team. Bad team isn't.
You know what
sad.
though?
It's a bad team.
You're right, but it's not a bad team that's giving up.
No, they're trying.
No, I mean I watched 2 of the games this year, Dave. They're playing like hell.
Yeah,
they're just not a very good hockey team.
No.
And maybe these guys would be better had they have their stars.
Yep.
You know, but I mean,
if
the Stahl brothers were there. What's that? What's that, Jeff?
I said that always helps having your top guys out there.
Yeah, I imagine. But I mean, it's just like I think they changed their sort of offensive and defensive scheme based on the fact they simply don't have much anything.
That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
When you suck and you're terrible, you got to try to cover those weaknesses. It's like that with any sport.
Let me just put
terrible.
it this way.
You
I have a
fucking try to
lot
hide
of
it.
empathy for that fucking horrible hockey team. I'm gonna be honest.
Empathy for any bad
It's
team.
horrible hockey
That's
team.
the bad
What else you
team.
got, Jeff?
All right. Nathan, it looks like Nathan Horton's career is in some serious jeopardy right now, and it's a shame for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He actually he signed a $37.1 million contract summer of last year.
Yeah. Fucking poor Nathan Horton.
Diagnosed with the degeneration of the entire lumbar region of his spine.
That's not good.
You know anything about that, Dave? Because I know you got back problems.
Shawn Michaels syndrome, as I like to call it.
But how long does he got before? Can he repair it and then have it degenerate later, or is it basically going to be?
Well, here's the thing: when you have degenerative back syndrome, and I've been diagnosed with the same thing. The reality is, it's donezo. You can have operations to try to help it, because it's like think of it as like a fucking supersized arthritis going through all your bones and just fucking you up in a way you can't even imagine. It's not going to get any better. And the more that he's athletic, the more that he's going out and putting pressure on it, especially on skates. Because I mean, when you're on skates, it's like the center, your core, your back is just.
I had an NCO that basically
done.
got retired for the exact same thing, and that was pretty much what they told him. Like, the longer you're in the Army, the quicker you are going to the wheelchair. So he quit.
Yep.
So he got out and he moved to I'm just gonna say Polynesia because I don't want to.
Polynesia.
Yeah, that's it. By any bangs?
What the Uzbekistan.
Girls of Asian descent, and lives off his retirement money. I do know a guy.
Guam. Guam.
Did I tell you that situation? I that's an offline story. When the FBI came to my house over here.
Yeah. I remember that story.
He's a crazy guy. Yeah, actually, I think it was during Shot from the Point era.
It was.
Yes,
it was something you
yeah.
and I were dealing with behind the scenes.
Yeah, we're doing this stupid podcast, and I have literally FBI calling my house.
Dave, the FBI called me,
I have
man.
to think
Like,
before I tell that
what?
story,
What do
so
you
I
mean
don't.
the FBI called you? They called me.
Yeah, we were recording it, right? And I was like, Dave, I have to get off the phone. The FBI's on the other. By the way,
don't
Jeff,
worry,
we're not
Tommy, 'cause
fucking
they're
around
probably
here.
Listening, it's okay.
Matthew,
You gotta get off the line.
Kazar. By the way, we have to put off the weight loss thing because there's way too much shit. You had Thanksgiving last month. I had Thanksgiving this month. It's simply not happening until January 1st. You got that?
I gotta pee.
Okay.
What do you got for us this week besides you gonna rub the shit in my face? Is that why you're
Yeah,
calling?
it's hard to lose weight.
It's not hard to lose weight. I can't do it while I'm fucking running around. I mean, do you see me? Do you see how good I look right now? I was just out drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Right.
look sharp.
I look sharp. I'm a good looking guy. I just need to lose about fucking 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I'd be even better looking. And then maybe I'd get a few more freaking subs. What do you got for us, Mr.
Yeah.
Kazar?
Well, as you can see from my profile picture, I want to address the subject. And that subject is called Sidney Crosby.
Punk, bitch.
And,
What else?
I don't know if you can see. Yeah. I don't know
I
if you
can see that
but
fucking
picture-
stupid 15-year-old hair lip he has.
That's exactly it. That picture was taken during the playoffs, and they were deep in that playoff series, and that's all he can grow.
Yeah.
And I think he has a testosterone problem.
Because he's not
honestly.
a man.
Yeah,
Because he's a bitch.
And I was watching 24/7,
Yeah.
the series versus Washington.
Yeah, when everybody had to cry back in the concussions after that.
Yeah.
Thanks. Another thank you to Sydney.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Anyway,
about it?
if
Sorry.
Okay, I have several problems with Sidney Crosby.
Since
First of all-
when? I gotta be asking so. Where's this
Here's
coming
your problem right here.
Hold on
You're
a
in the
second.
right
Let me
place.
put
You
that
found
back
your
on the
best
screen.
friend in
Go ahead,
town.
put that back on the screen, pussy. All right. Well, first of all, look, you are preaching to the choir, brother. I just
Yeah, he's
I
in
just
the
have
right
to know
place.
where this is coming from so I can better understand it. Because you never bitch about Crosby. Did you guys
Me?
play? Did you guys play the Penguins during the week? Am I missing something?
No, this is like ever since I started watching hockey, I've had a
But
problem
you
with
root for the
Crosby.
Canadians, so where do you have to bitch about pussies for? Come on.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go now. I got my dumb joke. in.
Okay.
Are you gonna complain? Hey, Mr. Kazar, are you gonna complain about diving?
You're not one to complain. You have Rick Nash.
He dived once. That's
Yeah.
because he was so worthless. He had to do something to be noticed.
Yeah.
He dived once in the Stanley Cup Finals. And you know what?
You're just
I'm glad he
jealous that we
did
beat you last
because
night.
he hadn't have dived. I wouldn't known he was on the team. But go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Kazar.
Okay,
Don't
I
take
can go
my
now.
shtick.
Yeah, you're going. Let him go.
Okay.
Let him go, Dave. I want to hear his problem. I want to hear the Montreal Canadiens fan problem with Sidney Crosby. Go right ahead, sir.
All right. Okay. So if you look at all of the, sorry, my voice just cracked. If you look at all of the,
Yeah.
if you look at all of the superstars in the NHL, you see Stamkos, you see Perry, you see Getzlaf. Okay, I was watching the draft of Ryan Getzlaf,
Yeah. 10
and
years
Doug
ago.
McKenzie said down the line he's going to be a real center.
He's gonna be a what? You got cut
second
off. Say it
line
again.
If we're lucky.
He's going to be a what center?
What's that?
He's going to be what kind of center?
A very good third line center. A very
Jesus
good third line
Christ.
center.
Fucking Ryan Getzlaf's like the.
Yeah. Look at him now.
Yeah.
He's on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
So what's
He's
the problem with
the modern
Crosby?
era's
Okay,
Mark
I'm
Messier.
getting to that. The thing is that
He's fucking Mark Messier, for Christ's sakes,
the thing is that Getzlaf had to work his way up there.
That's true.
Crosby, ever since he was a rookie, he was a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand he had good points in junior and Rimouski or whatever team he was in.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think it had an influence on his play that ever since he
Yes.
came in, he was labeled a superstar?
Yes. And I'm going to explain to you everything right now. I'm going to teach you something about hockey that you didn't think an American didn't think you. See, I was born in 1976. And when 1990 rolled around, 91, a guy, I don't know if you ever heard of him, his name was Eric Lindros. And he was drafted by the Quebec Nordiques. And he decided, he told the Quebec Nordiques when he was drafted first overall, and the reason he was drafted because they thought he could save this franchise because this franchise was in serious financial trouble in Quebec because the 90s were a lot different financially for the Canadians than it was for the Americans. It was not the it was not a very strong economy. But Eric Lindros, in all his infinite wisdom, and he was a lot like Crosby. People knew who he was when he was about 15 years old. He told the Quebec Nordiques, I don't want to be on your team because I don't want to learn French, which you know growing up in Quebec, and I know if you're on the Canadians or the Nordiques, it would be nice if you learn French, but there's certainly no demand to learn French if you play for all of those teams. And if I can point out that American Kirk Muller was on the 1993 Stanley Cup champion Montreal Canadiens. I don't think he spoke a word of French. If he did, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure he didn't. So these were the reasons that the Lindros family, and when I say family, I mean his father too, decided not to be drafted. And of course, Quebec took a chance anyway. You know why Quebec took a chance? Because they had no choice. They had to draft a guy like Lindros to bring their team out of the cellar. So they drafted him. And when Lindros, with absolutely no class at all, with no, he didn't even recognize the gravity of being drafted by an NHL team. Who the fuck cares what team it was? Who cares? Show some class. He refused to put on the jersey. He refused to sign with the Quebec Nordiques. And a couple years went by, and what happened was the New York Rangers got involved with this, and the Philadelphia Flyers got involved with this. And basically, the Rangers, I got to be perfectly honest with you, they legitimately signed Lindros, but we won't get into that. The NHL decided after arbitration, it was basically because the Flyers sucked at the time, that Eric Lindros would go to the Philadelphia Flyers. And I'm awful fucking glad that he did go to the Philadelphia Flyers. You know why? Because Kovalov, Tony Amonte, and just about the rest of the heart of the 1994 Stanley Cup team was in that trade for Eric Lindros. So Eric Lindros goes to the Philadelphia Flyers, where he wins nothing. And then the Quebec Nordiques move with Peter Forsberg and eventually Patrick Waugh and Joe Sakic to Colorado and become immediately an elite team in the National Hockey League. All during this time, Barry Melrose's bitch boy, who he kissed, I had to suffer through him listening, was saying how this guy was basically taking Lemieux's spot and basically taking the torch for Gretzky. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, Mr. Gazar, his play suffered. He was not able to lead the Canadians in the World Cup where they got their ass kicked. Well, I wouldn't say their ass kicked, but they actually lost a major international tournament, which he was almost no part of. He was Rick Nash in 96 in the World Cup. In 1997, the Philadelphia Flyers went up against the Detroit Red Wings, the beginning of the Steve Yzerman desire, and they got their ass kicked. Why? Because of leadership. And the reason Eric Lindros didn't have leadership is the same reason that Sidney Crosby doesn't have leadership. And it's basically for the reasons that you're saying right now. Sidney and Eric have had their ass kissed from day one. Ryan Getzlaf was told he was a third-line center. And I would build a team around Ryan Getzlaf before Sidney Crosby because I don't know what he's like behind the scenes.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you something else. Last year, Matt Niskanen, damn good fucking NHL defenseman. Brooks Orpik, a damn good NHL defenseman. Jerome McGinley before that. Jordan Staal. They couldn't get out of Pittsburgh quick enough. Why?
Okay, I'm having a hard time actually believing we're having this conversation.
Well, we got to call
Sidney Crosby, regardless of his shortcomings as a leader, regardless that he's a pussy, regardless that he is a piece of shit human being, he's the best player of his fucking generation, and there's no argument about it.
I got an argument.
I wouldn't start a team around him, Dave. I wouldn't start a team around him. The only thing that makes him better than Eric Lindros is that he has one cup.
He's making a mistake because he's not Lindros. He's won. This guy's won. He's a winner.
Can I just say?
Go ahead.
Can I just say something? I know it's somewhat of a cliche to say that Crosby sucks during the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I'll go as far as saying that he sucks whenever there's a great moment. Because if you look at the Olympics this year, I think he had one goal.
Yeah.
Drew Doherty had more goals. Sean Weber had more goals.
Good point.
But the thing is, what struck me
did more than Patrick Kane.
What struck me?
Shut up, Jeff.
Do you know how many wingers we had to put next to Sidney Crosby because it wasn't clicking? You'd think the best player in the world, you'd put me next to him. I'd probably score a few goals.
If you take Crosby off that team, the Penguins are scored half the fucking points that they've scored. This is an insane
and they're still not winning the Stanley Cup. They're still not. Look.
Just take the C off. Just take the C off.
I got to be honest with you, Dave. I'm sorry. He's still right. Eric Lindros was one of the best players of his generation. He could have probably went on and been a first-round.
Crosby. Lindros is not in that same category.
He was promoted, and he looked it. When he came up, he looked it. But it never completed. Now Crosby's got the cup, and I'll give you that.
I also looked like I was good at hockey, but then I sat on the bench and played fourth and fifth line.
Here's the thing. This is the key. Kazar said this, and this is the point. What happens when it comes to big moments? I just mentioned a few things when it came to Lindros. We're talking Stanley Cup Final 1997. We're talking Stanley Cup Final 1997, the World Cup of Hockey 1996. He was in Olympics after that. I think he actually ended up getting a gold. He was invisible. Here's the answer to your question, Mr. Gazar, because people that have big moments learn character on the way up. They basically told, you're a pussy. You suck. You're going to be off this fucking team because you're no goddamn good and you don't belong here. And guys like Eric Lindros and guys like Sidney Crosby never heard that. Now, that does not take anything away from their talent. Dave is 100%, 150% correct. The Crosby's one of them. I gotta be honest with you, he's one of the most talented players I've seen in my life. And I've seen some pretty good.
He's won a cup.
Yeah, and he's won a cup.
He's a winner.
So he's a little bit better than Lindros.
But
I will say this to you, Dave. He's never won another one.
And
I tell you something, good players won't stay on the Penguins.
Looking pretty good this year.
Good. You know what? They looked pretty good last year, and they looked pretty good in 2013 as well. And they find embarrassing ways.
To be fair to Sidney, and you know I'm not a Sidney guy.
Yeah, I know you're not. I know you're doing a good job. But
the guy has been hurt, and he's suffering through a wrist injury this year as well, and he's still one of the best players in the league. So
I guarantee you, Dave. We're talking about this now, and it's very tough to argue with you because you're bringing up good points. But here's the thing, Dave. He will find an embarrassing way to leave. during this season. I promise you.
Who's the reigning MVP in the league?
What's that?
Who's the reigning MVP?
It doesn't matter. You know it doesn't matter.
I forgot.
You know what? Patrick Kane has 2 cups.
Who's going to be the reigning MVP?
Patrick Kane will have more cups than Sandy Crosby when it's all over.
You're just confirming what I'm. You're just confirming what I'm saying. He's overrated.
How is he overrated?
He's overrated in the sense that he doesn't do it in the big spotlight. That's what he's saying.
Okay,
he's
Tommy,
won a cup. He's done it. This conversation. He's not Marino. He's won a cup.
He won a cup. He won a cup. And he's been embarrassed ever since. What was that cup? 2009?
Doesn't matter.
My kid was a year old. Now she's in school. That's a long time ago.
Tommy,
in hockey history, that's 100 years ago.
Hard it is to win multiple cups in the NHL, man. Just because the Kings and the Blackhawks have done it recently, it is not easy.
I would take half those guys on both those teams before I took that fucking rat-faced tombstone tooth kid. I guarantee it.
On either of
I would take Stamkos. I would take Tavares. I'd take all those guys.
Sure.
All those guys before him. Am I saying he sucks? No. But I tell you something. I'm looking at Ryan Getzlaff come crunch time. All right, Mr. Gazar, did you enjoy your call and the controversy you created? Good job. I'll talk to you later, bud. We're going to move on. Yeah. Thanks, brother. Great call as always. You always make the best call. One of the best calls. Take care, bud. That was cool. We got in a fight for a change. We sounded like a stupid sports talk show.
That wasn't a fight.
You know what I mean.
I'll show you a fight.
You know what I'm saying. What else you got, Jeff?
I'm getting drunk.
Well, sticking with the mindset of players being, hyped up before they even make it to the NHL, Buffalo fans are actually cheering for the Sabres to lose so they can get Connor McDavid. McDavid has said that his Twitter blows up every time Buffalo loses.
Guy's a stud, though. He's a stud.
Yeah, he's a stud, but it's repulsive. That's not what this is about. It's not whether this has nothing to do with Connor McDavid.
No, it's absolutely disgusting.
It's repulsive. It needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped in its tracks. They need no more percentages. You don't know. If you finish in last place, you have no idea whether you're getting first round or overall. It's one ball. One ball in the fucking lottery. That's it. That's what solves this problem. This is disgusting. I mean, Jesus Christ. You see, Ted Nolan finally gets back in the NHL after being out for like almost 19 years. And this is what he gets? I mean, this is a joke. I mean, you have the owner of the Buffalo Sabres screaming bloody murder that they changed the lottery rules a little, but they're still going to more than likely win the fucking thing. This is a joke. And those Buffalo fans should be fucking ashamed. You have a friggin'... they're a lot like the Blues. They were like, I guess, the second generation franchise, the Blues, the Buffalo Sabres. You should have... Fucking, I puke on you, Sabres fans. Fuck you. Fuck your Connor McDavid jersey. How much? I'm not. You know what? I never watched the draft. I'm watching it this year. You know why? Because I'm going to pray to fucking God the Sabres don't get Connor McDavid. Not because I want them to lose, because it's healthy for the league if they're healthy. It's because it's so repulsive how obvious this is that they're tanking deliberately.
It's nothing new. Tanking's disgusting, but it's not new. It happens.
I've never seen it. Dave, I told you a couple days ago, I've never seen it in this level in hockey this open.
No. I've never
seen fans are fucking tanking.
Well, yeah, the fans are desperate, man. They can't keep suffering through this bad product.
And you think this is a team that had fucking Miller and Vanek and I mean Jesus. I mean, what's his name? Who's the kid that went to Minnesota? Jeff. What's his name? Jason.
Jeff wasn't listeing.
No,
he wasn't.
He's got no idea what's going on. He's got a Rams hat on. Yeah.
I'm getting my next tab ready.
Yeah.
He's got one eye on football. He's not a true believer.
Yeah, they're down 20. They're down 20.
Yeah, he is. Listen to him.
I'm dominating. That's what the Chiefs are doing right now.
I love that call, by the way. I think that Crosby call was great, by the way. I think that
it was wrong, but it was great.
No, I was right. You were wrong. But I'm glad you played. I'm glad you played devil's advocate.
It's a bad comparison.
I'm glad you played devil's advocate, Dave.
It's a bad comparison to Lindros. Lindros and Crosby shouldn't even be in the same.
You know what it is? Because you're so far up Barry Melrose's ass.
I do love me some Melrose.
He does love Melrose.
I love me some Melrose.
Hey, you know who I love? Mika's the Jack. Yeah, no one talks about him, do they?
No, not at all.
Yeah, all right. What else you got?
You dropped him, you pussy. In the fantasy league, you dropped him, you flaming vagina. You should have kept him on the entire year. You shouldn't have dropped him, pussy.
Yeah, I should have, but I want to win. Shot from the point. You're on the air.
Hey guys.
What's happening? Who's this? Is the French guy from Montreal?
Yeah.
Are you calling to rub shit in my face?
Hey Jeff, Dead on Dave.
What's up?
So,
I haven't heard that.
What, Dead on Dave?
No, what you said.
I thought because I'm you know I'm a Ranger fan. I thought you were gonna fucking kick shit in my face.
Oh, no way.
Did you even
Dead
watch
on
the Canadiens
Dave,
game yesterday?
You're right about Crosby. That's
Thank
for
you.
Sure.
Even the French agree.
Now
Hey,
I
let's
don't
talk
know. Now I
about
don't know if I
the-
should change my mind.
Yeah, you better. So what do you think about Sidney Crosby and the way I feel about him, at least?
Oh, he's the best player in the world.
Okay. Who would you rather have? Stamkos, Getzlav, Tavares? To start a team. To
You
run
get
for
a
the cup.
chalkboard, Jeff.
That's a great
my
question.
brother's actually got that in his room.
Hold on. I got a guy
would take,
talking.
Crosby. Let's say Crosby, yes.
You'd start with Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
So so are you agreeing with me or disagreeing? Or you're agreeing with Dead on Dave is what you're saying?
Agreeing with me, baby.
All
Yeah,
right.
with Dead on Dave, for
He's on
sure.
the Dave train.
Dead on Dave.
Yeah, because he's one of the best grinder. He's a different kind of superstar.
He's a grinder? Who are you?
in the
Who are you?
weak
Glenn
point,
Healy talking about Pavel Datsyuk?
I don't even know what that
The guy doesn't
means.
throw 3 body checks all year.
Yeah, okay.
He's like-
let's
if-
say in the sense that he's intense all the time.
Yeah, but he is an intense player. I wouldn't say he's not lazy by any means.
Yeah, and he's going for the puck every time. He's a crybaby, that's for sure.
I think Jerome McGinley's better, and I think when he's done, it'll be all. You look back at McGinley and think he's a better Canadian hero.
Jerome is a man.
He's the man.
Yeah.
I take a
but,
young
talking
Jerome
about
McGinley.
future mans. I've watched Ranger games
Yeah, I know.
yesterday.
So you're gonna bust
And
my
I
balls.
I really like Kevin Hayes and Duclair.
I like Declare. I'm not sold on Hayes yet.
I like that 2-on-0 that the Canadians had.
You did 2 on none,
Yeah,
you douchebag.
That was great. And I liked Kevin Klein against Prost. He had guts.
Yeah, well, Kevin Klein, we really need a guy like him because we lost, what was his name? Strawman. He went down to, not Strawman, who was the fucking guy that went down to frickin', I mean, he was a big part of the damn final, and he ended up going to Tampa Bay with Boyle and Callahan.
Oh shit.
We need that third big defenseman, and we have Girardi, we have the McDonough, who I don't think Ryan McDonough has actually kind of cornered this team as his own
I
yet.
would take Klein before Tom Gilbert any day of the week.
Really, you like this Klein character, huh?
Oh, better than Gilbert. Oh, he lost the fight against Prost, but he did well in the beginning. I was
Prost.
surprised that he took the challenge.
Press. No, that doesn't surprise me. I got to be honest, because Press is one of. I mean, we had him for years, by the way. Press is one of the toughest fighters in the league.
He's a tough guy.
As far as I always like Prust. I don't like honestly. Here's the thing about Brendan Prust. I don't know if you know this. He's dumb as a rock. I mean, he's really really stupid.
Yeah, maybe, but he's playing for the team.
Yeah, he
every
does.
day.
He does because he's probably the only one of 5 people in all of North America that can fall for Michel Therrien's complete bullshit. You're like,
Yeah,
what was
that's
that thing
right,
2
'cause,
years ago?
Michel Therrien is
Oh
not
my
like that,
God!
but, of
Oh
course.
my God! This horrible check on Lars Eller. Who was that fucking kid's name? I forget. How is he allowed to do that? We are changing the rules. And what happened? And then last year was like Chris Kreider runs goalies, which he made up. I mean, that's just not true. You can look at the tapes. It's not true. He got 1 penalty for it out of 5. So-called running the goalies. And then he was also, he's basically tripped in the play that hurt Carey Price. So, but that's what Michel Therrien does. He gets people emotional based on some kind of horrible event.
That's his
Michel
game. That's his
Therrien.
game.
Yeah, that's what he does. And if it works, that's great. But it looked silly against Ottawa 2 years ago. I got to be honest with you. But Pruss fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. When he called, what's his name, a big bug-eyed walrus, which was kind of funny.
But every time I watch the Rangers, I'm crying because of McDonough. I'm thinking of that trade with Gomez, and
I bet
I go crazy.
you know what I go crazy? The fact that
he should be playing with the PK Subban right now.
Yeah, think about that. I mean, that's a good point, Dave. I mean,
And speaking of Scott Gomez, okay, I want to make I want to talk about analytics.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
They speak about puck possession, and Gomez must have the greatest numbers in puck possession in the world. You know, because from going from his own zone to the offensive zone, he's great, and then the play dies. So his numbers must be great, but he's awful.
He's Corsi master.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a new show on TSN about analytics.
Yeah.
And the first thing they said about the Oilers, why it wasn't working in the first games, it was because they were unlucky.
Yeah. That's what they. Well, that's the problem with the analytics guys.
Numbers, and then they talk about luck.
Well, I don't know how often you listen to me, but that's my problem with the analytics is when it starts not working, they're going to just the scientists are going to start talking about luck.
It's an anomaly within the numbers.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I finally understand Corsi,
Scott Gomez is Neo, the anomaly.
I finally understand Corsi, by the way. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, I get it now too. I don't think it's unvaluable, but it's just like French guy said. If it doesn't work. Like it does in Edmonton, where these guys hold the puck a lot, they're just going to blame something outside of science.
That's where you and I have been wrong. We've been talking about Corsi in the wrong context for a while.
Yes, I know. It's not just puck possession. It's shots
it's not even about puck possession. It's about shots on goal, shots against
with puck possession.
With puck possession.
Yeah, with puck possession. And Jake Muzzin.
In that context, we've been
Yeah, you're right. I thought
but again, it's still kind of one of those type of fucking things. Like,
yeah, but you know, it's funny because you sent me that video earlier. I mean,
wasn't that hilarious?
It was like fucking 80% of the league doesn't know what it means.
But
I noticed. Did you notice the guys under 24, except for Patrick Kane, know what it is, and the guys over 24 don't? That's the first thing that really jumped out at me is the guys that are basically over 24 don't give a fuck. They just go out there and play hockey.
Yeah, but these younger guys know that it's going to be part of the game. So
the younger guys tend to know about it a little more. Yeah. So I mean,
you would think the Blackhawks would know, considering that they're getting more shots on goal than anybody in the fucking league
Kane
right now.
Except the Blues last night.
Fucking drop against the goddamn Blues.
I wish they would ask
you,
Crosby.
Jeff.
I wish they would ask Crosby.
Dimitri Yaskin.
Fuck you, Jeff.
Hey, French
Brian
guy.
Taves.
Always a good call. What do you got? You got anything else for us?
No, it's enough for today. Maybe a question for Jeff. There's a player that's intriguing me for years, and it's Chris Stewart. What can you tell us about him?
Nothing.
No, because he's the type of players I would think would do great in Montreal. Maybe against René Bourque or something like that.
And he's a fucking hockey savant.
Oh, nothing. I'll definitely look into it though.
Okay. So anyway, it's okay for me.
Look. This guy works really hard. He's just got to collect hockey headlines. He can't be telling you shit about the minor
Frenchie's
leagues.
a fucking savant in hockey. Did you hear him go? Name dropping.
Okay, bye.
You're
all
awesome,
right, brother.
dude.
Hey, take it easy, French guy. I'd love when you call in, brother.
He's awesome. He's a fucking savant, name dropping, making us all look bad.
Oh,
he Jeff
called
look like an asshole.
Did you hear what he did it like 2 weeks ago? We were like, Jake told a story about his dad said he looked like Chaz Bono.
Oh God.
And then fucking French guy
looks like Chaz Bono.
French guy. He'd called 1 or 2 times before. I forget. And then I'm not being rude by calling him French guy. He calls himself French guy because he doesn't want to give his name away.
You're being accurate.
But he calls and he goes, "I have a question for Chaz Bono." I don't know if you know because you don't listen to our dumb show, Dave.
No, I don't, unless I'm on it, because then it's
yeah, I know. You're such an egomaniac. You know that?
I am. Like, we're just finding this out. I'm a huge egotist.
Yeah.
But I'm a closet egotist. You got to bring it out of me.
Yeah, I know. Good.
And I'm drinking, so it's really out. I got to pee again.
I can't keep from exposed. Whatever. All right, what else you got, Jeff?
You can't keep from exposing what?
Nothing.
It's about to turn into a different show here.
Yes,
Don't expose anything, Tommy.
I'll show you. Hold on. Mika's a bit of Jack. No, I'm clear. Jeff, your turn.
All right. After getting off to a hot start, the Predators finally lost to the Penguins. I believe it was last night. They lost 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's pretty surprising the start they got off to.
The Pens or the
No, Predators.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched too many fucking Nashville Predators games. Is Seth Jones and interesting. He was one of the guys who knew what Corsi was in the right context, unlike me and Dave and everybody else.
We had no idea. We're talking.
He was on the list. He was on the list.
Having,
That video. That was a really good video you sent me, by the way.
Wasn't it a whole? It was hilarious. Thank you.
It was great. It was great. See, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does it mean it doesn't matter or not?
Yeah, it means nothing. It just
doesn't mean
means that
anything.
there are a
It's
bunch
just
of
funny as hell.
Mongos playing hockey. It's
It just
okay.
doesn't mean. It's
Having
funny as hell.
Pecorine back is really big for them too.
Well,
Pekka!
first of all,
Pekka
Peck is
Ram.
one of the best players. But I really wonder about. I mean, every time I turn on the highlights for the Predators, and I gotta be honest, I haven't watched a game they played this year. But I was going to the other day, but things got fucked up because I was going to watch.
Holy
Chicago.
shit! It's Geddy Lee.
Oh my God! It's Geddy Lee.
Oh my god.
You got it.
I love it. I there he is, new point man, Mr. Dave Rose. Do you play guitar?
A long time ago, I've lost all my skill.
Can you
A
sing
little
the
bit of
trees?
rhythm I used to do. Sorry,
Holy
Can you
god.
sing the trees? Are you,
I can't hear you. What?
can you sing the song "The Trees"? And the trees scream oppression. I don't hate like personally, but I think Rush is the most boring rock and roll band that ever walked the face of the earth.
Wow.
And I respect Neil Peart, and I respect Geddy Lee, and I generally like them personally, but I will never own a Rush album, and I will never listen to any other Rush song besides Roll the Bones, because that's
You're
a badass
missing
song.
out. It's
There's
okay.
so-
We don't need you on board.
Dave, you're a good guy.
I can't stand them. I don't
Well,
like them.
I'm freaking out right now because you look like you can be a stand-in for Ted Nugent. It's fucking amazing.
I've gone.
Look at you.
I had round specs at one point, and people, would say, "Oh, you look like John Lennon." And I've gotten Geddy Lee, but I've never actually gotten Ted Nugent before.
You never got Ted Nugent? Next time somebody calls you Ted Nugent, prove him right and stab him in the throat.
Stab right in the fucking throat and then drink it.
See, I don't want to say that I have never shit my pants, but it was never to try to avoid conscription.
You know what? I'm gonna keep you on because you're funny.
Thank you.
Let's keep unless you have something.
I have some hockey stuff that I would like to talk about. Get your comments on it. I don't know if you guys have had.
Well,
a
I'll tell
chance
you what. Give me one of those things, and then we're gonna let Jeff finish up because we only got 30 minutes left.
Yeah, poor Jeff.
Okay. Don Cherry.
Yeah, I heard what
Don
he
Cherry,
said.
Hockey Night in Canada. He didn't talk any hockey, and
Not at
I
all.
don't care. What he
And
said
they
was
get-
great,
did you see-
and I'm very happy about
Before
it.
you go on, Dave,
I didn't
did
hear
you
what
see?
he said. I didn't hear what he said.
Did you see that he got more than 5 minutes this week?
Yes,
They
and
gave
I was
him that
very
6
happy
minutes and
about
50.
that, and I knew that they could not fuck with that. They had to allow him
Exactly.
to say his part and let it just go as much as it needed to, because this was an important special time, and the backlash alone from trying to cut down on him would have ruined Rogers.
I really wonder. Yeah, they were even smarter than that because let's face it, they're phasing him out. I mean, I think that's just simply fair to say that they're phasing him out.
But very classy, very well done, and I mean, people might not agree with what he has to say. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What he did, I think, goes to prove the value of his character.
I think he was pretty neutral though. I saw. I mean, yeah, I'm a Don Cherry guy, but I found it very neutral. I found it like,
Please
look.
give it to the troops, though, and
All
the
right,
fact, and this is my.
let's give the listeners, if they don't know what happened on, because I remember I do have American listeners too that don't get Hockey Night in Canada or Game Center. But what basically Don said, he said this is a horrible event. He mentioned the 2 soldiers, the one that was run down, the one that was killed inside the Ottawa shootings in the Capitol building. But he said, this is a problem in the States as well. And by the way, it's a problem in England, and it's a problem whenever this stuff happens in the Western world. One of these guys gets killed, and we all come together and we say we're together, which is great. We need that. No one's denying that. That's why I played on In the Crease of Tommy C.O. Canada when I opened up. That's why they did in Pittsburgh. That's why I opened up with it today. It's important to me. But the problem is what happens a couple days, weeks later when it's not news. And that's what Don was talking about. These guys, these troops, Canadian troops, need support. And outside of like, good job dying, son.
Yep.
And that's what Don was saying. And I think that's a pretty neutral way to look at things. Now, you might not agree with the war in Afghanistan. You might not agree the way the Canadian government is kind of supported the United States Army or the United States military. You may agree they should be in Afghanistan and not in Iraq or not in Afghanistan. All that's fine. And you know what? I'd be willing to listen to what you had to say, because I have different opinions when it has something to do with sending troops places. But I don't think that's what it was about. What it was about was make sure we're taking care of our own. That's how I took it, Dave.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the problem here in Canada is I don't think that gets enough publicity and acknowledgement. And our what's called the Canadian Veteran Affairs office or ministry has done a dismal job. Kind of like the American one, wasting all this money and.
Well, I thought it was good until a couple months ago, but go ahead.
Don't say the VA to me. I'll fucking lose my goddamn mind.
I really haven't had to deal with them too much yet.
Try and be medically retired. It's a fucking blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really admire what he said and the fact.
I do.
Again, you say.
And I thought it was neutral. It was not right wing or left wing.
Hold on, you say it's neutral, but the fact is, here in Canada, it's not neutral. It's until recently, it's been a taboo to talk about, and no one really wants to acknowledge it. And even, that's why he was saying don't forget them, because people, with our Highway of Heroes, the section of highway where they are the bodies are transported back after they are killed.
It's a beautiful ceremony, by the way, I have to say, as an American. I love it.
He was referring to that and saying, you come out and you show your support. That's absolutely great. That's awesome. And that's what we need. And that's what's right. But don't stop there. You can't just say, okay, this is my show of patriotism, this is my show of concern, and that's it. You've got to be the one calling up your ministry, your member of parliament, which is like our senator, and other people in the government, and demanding that these people be properly taken care of, rather than unacknowledging the fact that they're coming home. A lot of people are coming home with some mental issues, and they need treatment rather than being thrust aside, and then a year, 2, 6 months down the road, they commit suicide.
And then everybody's shocked.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Well, the left liberal public face is shocked. The fact is, anyone who's close to them knows this, and it's really disappointing.
Well, let me tell you something about my experience with the so-called left that supports the troops in America. And then we're going to move on. We're going to move to another subject after this, because I want
you got me having a smoke now, because we're talking
because
stuff for me.
But here's what I'm going to say. My experience with the left as a troop myself for the American Army, the only troop they want to talk to is disgruntled and defeated.
Yep.
And I'm neither. And neither is Dead on Dave. And they don't want to hear from us.
I have an interesting media story that I've never told anybody before.
Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm gonna. This is one that has been sitting with me for about 7 years.
Okay.
Is after I got medevac the first time in 2007 from Iraq. I'm sitting in the Warrior Recovery Unit in not Iraq, in Arif John in Kuwait.
In Kuwait.
And we're getting it was the Robin Williams comedy tour, and fucking Ted Nugent was there, funnily enough. It was probably Dave in disguise. A whole bunch of people, and there was media outlets there. And I was fucked up. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. They shove a camera in my face. They shove a microphone in my face, and they asked me to tell my story. The second I started being positive, I swear to Christ, they turned away and started talking to a guy who was ranting about some other shit. I mean, it's like...
Would you name who that was?
No, I won't.
You won't? It was
mainly because I can't remember.
Would you name the network? Would you name the network?
I can't. Honestly, I can't even remember.
You're in too much pain.
I was so fucked up. I was like 4 Percocets to the wind.
Yeah, they wanted. And that's probably why they were talking to you.
Could have been Stars and Stripes. Yeah. I mean, I have no idea.
I doubt it was Stars and Stripes.
I doubt it too, but it was just.
No, I'm glad you never told me that privately.
No, I've never told anybody that story.
Yeah, you never told me that even privately. That's funny. So you see, we got it over. See, Dave Rose, we have the same thing. And I got to be honest with you. If certain people didn't see what Don Cherry was saying, he wasn't talking about Arabs. He wasn't talking about the war on terror. He wasn't talking about Iraq. He wasn't talking about Afghanistan. He's talking about let's take care of our own. And if certain people can't see that as being neutral, then fuck them. They're not neutral. The bad, lousy
whether
people.
Whether it's neutral or not, it's the right and proper.
We're talking about taking care of our fellow man. We're talking about taking care of a fellow man. You know what? I tell you something. You know, it sounds like one of these guys, like, you know, well, I hate the war and I don't like soldiers, but you're okay. I get that sometimes. You know, feel the love.
I've gotten that.
Yeah, I go. Oh, but you're okay. You know what? Fuck you. I don't want to be your friend. Fuck you. You know, I mean, look. You know me. If anybody listens to the show, I'm open to listening to your distaste. Even Dave Rose does not agree with the war of Iraq. Correct?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. But it's not like I'm not personally insulted by
that decision. So, you know, I support them in the fact that what they go through.
But you don't think me and Dave are bad people. And that's what we run into.
At least you're a good enough fucking human being to differentiate.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion.
There are just wars, though, and that's the thing. It's war is a bad thing, but the fact is, what you guys did. You know, you're not the ones that decided the war. You guys just did.
I don't know if war is a bad thing.
Not always.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but what I'm there's justified wars is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like what happens in war is ugly, but what happened in Europe with the Nazis that needed violence to control violence to take care of it. It wasn't going to go away with Chamberlain.
No.
You know, to be fair though, when people talk about World War II, and this is not for nothing here, had it not tried to expand outside of the area that it was in, the atrocities that were happening in this country, in Germany, the one I'm in now,
nobody would have paid a bit of attention.
Nobody would have gave a fuck.
No, they just took over Austria and Switzerland and Luxembourg and Liechtenstein. Yep. Nobody would have cared. All those atrocities would have continued to kill, and everybody would have been like, that's a conspiracy theory. That's, you're absolutely right.
It's acceptable because those things are acceptable. It's when you go to a global scale, when you try to take that shit to a new level of craziness, then it's not acceptable.
Yeah.
But as long as it's containable,
yeah.
Unless there's other mitigating
Hey,
circumstances.
Dave, did you know there's slavery in Sudan and they enslaved black people? Yeah, nobody cares.
There's slavery actually in quite a few places in the Middle East and in Africa, Asia
South
as
America.
well.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, I mean,
I like to have this conversation another time, and I think it's appropriate for today's show because of what we're talking about. But I think we got to let Jeff go. We got to let do the hockey.
My bad.
Nobody's bad.
Jeff, respect Jeff.
You're good.
No, it's not bad. Nobody's bad, but we just got to move it along, and I think it's fair. I don't know. I'm trying to be cool.
Look at those glasses.
We do a funny hockey show, but I mean, we had a horrible incident this week, and it affected hockey, so we have to talk about it. And I guess what? There's two troops in the show, and there's another guy, and the other two guys are very passionate about their own countries, being Jeff and
a Unabomber.
What's that?
Nothing.
All right. You should see this thing. All right, listen, Jeff. Let's knock these out.
All right, Chara's out 4 to 6 weeks with knee injury.
I hurt
Vaginitis.
You know, it's just a sign.
Hi, Boston.
Hey guys, don't make fun of me while I'm gone.
Fucking Jolly Green Giant over there. And shit.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a sign. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that. I mean, the Bruins got a lot of problems the way they've been playing, but I mean, if Bruins fans think that not having Chara is going to keep them from the playoffs, the Lightning made it to the playoffs last year without Stamkos for 45 games, and the Red Wings made it to the playoffs without Zetterberg and Datsuk, who missed 37 games.
Well, I tell you something. If the Boston Bruins are going to make the playoffs, they're going to have to get you. They're an older hockey team, and they're going to get injuries, and that's just a part of a hockey game. This is just part of hockey.
They're going to get through on Rask's back alone.
They could. He's that damn good.
It's not like they're losing Rask or Bergeron.
I'd sooner lose Bergeron and Chara before I lose Rask, though, because I mean he's just become.
He did great yesterday.
Yeah, he looked good yesterday too.
To be fair to the Bruins, they're playing better as of late.
Sure, but you know it's funny. They played Toronto, who's either the best team in the league or the worst team on the ice. I mean, Toronto just did that. Was repulsive what I saw yesterday.
I was going to talk about that, but Jeff's got to get the news going. But I could give you comments on what's going on there, at least what I thought about that.
Well, I if we have time after the breaks, I'll let you touch on it. But I tell you something. From what I'm seeing,
you're the boss.
I think they're trying hard. It's just that there's no cohesive system, or not everybody's on the same page over there on what's supposed to be done. Because sometimes they look really brilliant, and sometimes they look like the Toronto Maple Leafs from late last year. I mean,
that's a good summary of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. And you know me, I don't hate the Leafs. It's tough for me to say nice things about the Canadians or the Canucks, but because I really just and the Penguins. But I mean, That's what Toronto I got no beef with, and that's what it looks like. It's looked like, you know what that tells me? Depending on the coach that Randy Carlyle is, it's going to come together. And I believe in the Leafs this year. I don't know why. Maybe I'm stupid.
Because you believe in analytics.
Yeah, that's it. No, no. You know why? It is going to drive. I believe in Nazem Kadri. I think he's untapped. I think he's an unshined. I think he's a diamond in the dirt. I really do believe that, and Don Cherry believes that as well. Go ahead,
He's
Jeff.
a lump of coal.
I like Nazem Kadri. I think he's a good guy, provided he doesn't blow himself up or something.
I don't like the guy, but I'm not going to deny that he's a skilled player.
I think he's a skilled player, and I think he's got a lot of heart.
But I just don't like what he said about.
I don't like what he said either. I don't like what he said either. But you know what? At least there's that. That means there's emotion, and that's really. We've had this conversation before. Go ahead, Jeff.
Jake Muzzin returned to the lineup for LA. Missed the first 6 games.
Just in time to take that white beater spot.
Yeah. Now he can. Now him and his butt buddy Doughty are reunited.
You don't like Drew Doughty, Jeff?
Guy, huh?
What's wrong with Drew Doughty?
What's wrong? I don't like the Kings in general.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't a Doughty thing. It was a Kings thing. I could tell. I know resentment.
I don't like
that.
Dustin. I despise Dustin Brown.
I like Dustin.
Who doesn't? I can't stand Dustin Brown either.
You liked Dustin Brown 2 years ago. Don't give me that.
Him, but then he's just a dick. He's just a dick.
Exactly.
I hate hockey and I don't like kids.
I like Dustin Brown. I just like the fact that he's such a fucking prick.
Oh, why? Wonder why. I wonder why you gravitate towards that guy.
I'm glad Jake Muzzin's back. Corsi, he's the Corsi
and
Uncle Grandmaster.
I just picked him up again for my fantasy team. I dropped him because he got hurt, and I just picked him up.
And you picked him back up.
Still there. I wonder why.
When did you pick him up? Because I tried to pick him up earlier today, but then I got distracted and forgot to do it. What time was that?
What, that I picked him up?
Yeah.
Oh, I can look real quick. I got it.
No. Was it yesterday or today?
No, don't do that.
No, don't do that. Exactly. What was it, yesterday or today?
Oh, it was today at 9:17 a.m.
Fuck, I could have got him. I got distracted.
$5 says Dave Rose is drinking an herbal tea of some kind. Some kind of organic fucking homemade. Oh, it's a beer. Is that a beer?
With the squirrel he just killed.
Tommy, I got a comment on your added player
Keep
today.
My ass.
Oh, did you? What you got a comment for? Go ahead.
Well, this is actually going to lead into my next thing. You picked up Paul Stastny.
Yes, I did, and I know he's hurt.
Yeah, okay. He just placed on the IR. He's week to week.
Yes.
And with Stastny on the IR, the Blues called up Dmitry Yaskin, who scored the game winner last night against Chicago.
Woohoo!
Shut up, Jeff. God,
I am dominating.
That's what the Blues did last. Well, no, not
I picked
really.
up Stastny because I think he's a lot better than I think he's actually a better hockey player than I initially thought he was. The Colorado looks ridiculous without him.
Yep.
I mean, they have no fucking power up the center. They're a different fucking hockey team.
No,
You know?
Dave, are you more? Dave,
Oh my God! Look who called.
Oh,
Look at this.
okay.
Now I got fucking 4 idiots instead of.
what are you
fucking
doing
3.
here, man? Come on, let me have my moment.
It's the whole team. It's the whole team.
The whole team.
It's
I
the
could have
whole
let Dave
team.
just, get all my glory. What would it be like,
I
gotta
think
keep him in check.
Can I have a moment? Can I have a moment ever?
You've had enough moments.
I think
How
all
you
of our
doing, Dave?
football.
What's up, buddy?
I think all of our football teams got embarrassed today.
Is that why we're just calling
Yeah.
it?
What's
I know
football?
that-
Every single one. Yeah, that's right. You're a Rams fan. Dave's a Bears fan. I'm a Jets fan.
What's football?
I would have to say, as far as if there was an embarrassment of Super Bowls, the Jets right now would be the freaking winner right now as all 3 of our teams.
They've been embarrassment for almost 40 years now. Why are you
Yeah.
surprised? It's like rooting for the Cubs.
Hey, don't get crazy, Tommy.
Cubs are going to be good in a couple of years. Don't worry.
Cubs are going to be good this year, baby. We're getting Joe Madden.
I'm 38 years old, and I've been hearing that every year since the year of my birth.
Cubbies are going to be good, man. Cubbies are going
They
to be
need
good
some
this year.
They need some pitching.
Yeah.
We're going to
What-
sign.
What else
two
you
of
got?
the
What
best
else you got in the news? Jeff the Huffman.
Oh, let's see what else I got here. Charlie Coyle agrees to a 5-year extension with the Wild.
Yippee yay! What's their record? They're playing not too bad, are they?
We're playing pretty good, yeah.
They're playing pretty solid.
Yeah, they went off on who'd they play last night? I can't remember. Can't remember who
good
they
job.
played. I know they went off.
They got off quite a few times this year in the beginning of the season against the freaking Avs.
Just looked at it before the show started too.
Yeah. All right, what else you got? Let's fucking.
Oh yeah, they just absolutely spanked Tampa Bay 7-2.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess you know what? They might be a team that's going to be in the Western Conference Finals, Minnesota.
They could
if
potentially
keep it up.
be there.
Well, they went a lot farther.
Watch. They're going to be. You know what they're going to do? They're going to be trading for. They're going to be trading for a goalie who's renting a goalie.
Like
Probably
Briscoe.
at the end of the season.
Like
Briscoe. Briscoe's trying to go to the Avs and.
Like Ryan Miller.
They can go sign Martin Brodeur. He's available.
They might. His kid's playing. His kid's playing Minnesota, so.
You never know. You never know. That's what I want to see. I want to see Marty finish his career in a wild uniform.
Go get Uncle Daddy. It'll all work out.
Not even in the North Stars. A wild uniform. Oh, wait a minute. I have Marty with some audio on this. Hold on.
You do that, you go to the box, 2 minutes by yourself, and you feel shame.
That's right. Thanks, Marty.
I
feel shame.
That sounds like WAP.
You should feel shame that the Devils did you like they did you. Here's what we do for you. Here's what we do for you, Marty. We draft your son, draft Schneider, that fucking German, and tell you go home.
He was 49,000 years old. It's okay.
I know. Yeah. But you know what it is? It's sort of like a TiVo thing. He never really got the chance to come back from, I don't know, the 2012 Stanley Cup final where he played like brilliantly.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't
he's
look
old. He's a goalie too, and he's done enough.
Yeah, they're right. Goalies.
He's 70.
And this is coming from the biggest Martin Brodeur lover of them all.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy has done more than any other player for any team that's played 20 plus years could ever do for a franchise.
I'm just sick of Martin Brodeur.
If you ask nicely, Jake will show you his Martin Brodeur transfer.
I just hung up on fucking Jake to fuck with him. I couldn't stand it. I heard one more Marty thing. I think I was going to jump off the building. I'll put him back on.
Oh, my God.
That was awful what I did, wasn't it?
No, it was hilarious.
I heard Martin Brodeur like 15 times. I couldn't take it. Sorry.
That's great.
He'll show you his Martin Brodeur tramp stamp if you ask nicely.
I gotta put it back on because now I feel horrible.
Oh, you pussy. You gotta
No, it made you happy, you jealous prick.
Yeah, I'm not jealous. How can I be jealous of those lesser than I?
Sorry, I just heard
Hey guys, I heard a blow up and then my phone hung up. I think there's a problem with the line.
I don't know. I think it was an error. It was called Martin Brodeur too many fucking times in my ear.
All right, guys. I just wanted to call up and say that, but I'll definitely be on next week.
All right, that's good. That's good because I'm getting sick of fucking Dave.
Enjoy it.
Take care.
Take it back. You can deal with these assholes anytime you like.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Take care, brother. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
All right. The great comedian Jake Link. Catch him at Jake Link Comedy. The normal host for Shot from the Point Live, but we have to settle for Dead on Dave.
Yeah. I'm such a step down. It's a bad thing when you have to say the words comedians in finger quotes.
You fucking bashing poor Jake.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, come on, Jeff. Finish this sucker up. What do you got? What do you got, Jeff?
All right, well, since we were talking about goalies, I guess we can go with this. The Varlamov for the Avalanche.
Did he beat his wife?
I was actually going to go somewhere with that, and you just ruined it.
I'm sorry. You know what? Do it anyway. It's always funnier.
The entire show and you stepped on it.
Go ahead. It's the only joke you wrote all night.
I was going to say Varlamov returned to the Avalanche after beating his wife. I mean, recovering from a groin injury.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I got audio of that too. The Varlamov and his wife. She fell down.
My friend actually asks for a Varlamov jersey for Christmas because he's a goalie and everything.
Yeah.
But he got a wife beater instead.
Volarnov. Wait, we got We're talking about Voinov, not Volarnov. Vlarnov was the wife beater last year that beat the rap. I don't even know why. I can't even remember why he got let off. I honestly, I gotta be honest, I wonder if that girl was straight up lying. This chick, I'm not 100% convinced he's 100% innocent, but I'm getting up there to like the 80 range. You know what I mean? Voinov. Slava Voinov. Look, there's Vlarnov. What's his first name?
Varlamov? I don't know. I always forget his
Where
last
the fuck?
name.
Yeah, we have Vlarnov, and he smacked his girlfriend around, dragged her by her hair like he was kind of caveman, which is interesting.
I always
because he's
forget
from Russia.
Varlamov's first name. And
then Slava Voinov, who was accused of domestic disputes. All right, you know what? It doesn't really matter. Everybody knows what we're talking about anyway. Here's the problem. And this has got to go. And I'm only going to touch on this for a minute because I've been fucking beating this shit to death all week. This is to show you there was an overreaction in the NFL as well. We have to go to court now. We have to go to Congress now. You cannot be suspended from work until you get trial. Because this is looking like it was a joke. And the NHL, I got to be honest, I don't care if you're playing hockey or what organization you represent, they got to protect workers. And I'm not talking about hockey players or football players, I'm talking workers, because this is a horrible precedent, because it's starting to look like Voinov of Los Angeles Kings, he's innocent. It's looking that way. I'm not saying he is, I'm just saying it's looking that way. So we have to protect, in North America, we got to protect people, not just hockey players, but we got to protect, we have to protect people from this kind of abuse of labor policy. We agree with me on that, Dave Rose?
This is very scary, and it
is
could
scary.
start a precedent, just like you said. And the worst part is, and the scariest part is, don't we have laws that have been set up specifically for due process?
For due process, and we also have specific laws based on how to punish people that commit acts of domestic abuse. So you might be saying, "Oh, you're more worried about not being able to keep your job than domestic abuse." Yeah, you know why? Because we already have laws for domestic abuse. It's called assault. First, second, and third degree assault. So, I'm actually really getting concerned with this shit, and I'm a little fucking sick. I mean, ask Harrison Mooney how he feels about this. I'm a little fucking sick and goddamn tired of hearing that, look, they have the right to do this because they have a right to protect their image. I got to be honest with you, I'm starting not to care because it's getting spooky because it looks like this guy might be innocent.
There's been countless times where people have been accused of things, and it's been published instantly. Mm-hmm. It's been proven wrong. Their career, their lives have been ruined.
Yeah, sure.
All across the board, all different sorts of employment, jobs and all different sorts of things. And
so we got Vlarnov. They were just freaking out fucking last year because the NHL didn't do anything last year. I remember that it wasn't as big a freak out as a Ray Rice situation. Of course, we have Ray Rice and tape giving him fucking his girlfriend this incredible fucking left hook. We don't know what happened with Vlarnov. So we had a situation where the NHL said we're gonna wait till the police process until we know more. And that was like, that's outrageous. No, it's the right thing to do because we got to protect everybody's fucking employment. And then we have this situation with Slava Voinov.
Due process.
Where we it's due process. I mean, look, I understand the NHL doesn't have to abide by that because they do have a tax exemption. There's different laws governing them for certain reasons that we won't get into. But I got to be honest with you, now I want that to change. Because it's getting spooky. Because I'm terrified that this is going to happen to regular people. And you know what? If I'm wrong, and if a tape comes out and he threw off a fucking roof, and then she went to the police and said, "Oh, he didn't throw me off a roof. I fell off a roof." Then I'm going to be in a domestic abuse kick. But you know what?
To be fair, to my knowledge, in every case of these guys who have gotten suspended after being arrested, not one of them has lost pay during that time.
Yeah, I don't care. That doesn't concern me.
There's a line though.
You're right. And Dave, you're right. I don't care because it's setting a precedent for the rest of us, and that's what I'm really frightened of.
I understand that.
I'm frightened of your wife, your girlfriend, your neighbor who doesn't really like you said you domestically abused them, and then you lose your job because guess what? A plumber is not going to get paid leave.
See, but okay, you don't get arrested all the time.
People aren't going to get leave.
Regular people aren't.
Yeah. Again, and who's going to be paying their fees to try to fight this in court or to deal with
because
the
you need money to go to court. But you know what, Dave, you hit it right in the head because if you can't work and you can't get a check, you can't fight it in court, and that means you're fucked. And that's what I think this is really about.
Proven guilty.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's really about. So we need to come up with laws to protect people for due process, even in the corporate world. That's what we need to do. Because if you were like, fuck this guy beat his girlfriend, guess what? This could happen to you. Somebody accuses you of beating him and he didn't do it. You could be in real trouble. You could lose everything.
It's not about just an accusation, though. That's the thing. We're not talking about just sheer accusation. These guys have been arrested. They've been arrested.
We don't. Well, yeah, we're talking.
No, hold on. People get arrested all the time under false charges,
Sure.
and then they get let go. Okay, just the fact that the police arrested you, sometimes with due cause, sometimes without.
Yeah, Dave, I've been arrested 5 times. I've never convicted of anything.
And I guarantee they've all been due.
I never got convicted once.
So, well, there you go. So
No,
they're
you're right.
just doing their job. They have to arrest somebody. Unfortunately, sometimes the rules say because somebody said something, you at least here in Canada, you automatically have to arrest them. No questions, not try to investigate there on the scene. Bring them in, process them, and then eventually it might be figured out in court. Now, what does that happen? What does that do? That not only imposes stress and pressures financially and otherwise onto the person that has to defend themselves, but potentially onto the state themselves, because a lot of people can't afford this stuff, so they have to go for public
You're absolutely right.
Stuff.
Hey, look, we're not sticking up for Slava Voinov.
We're talking about two different worlds. We're talking about millionaires in hockey, and then we're talking about something that
doesn't matter because no, you're wrong about that, Dave. And I know what you're saying.
What's happening to the millionaires in sports is not necessarily something that's going to happen to the civilian world, because it would have already happened.
You're setting a legal precedent.
The law is a precedent.
The law is the law.
Already happened. It's not like this is new. These things do happen.
Yeah,
it's not like this is new.
No, but my problem is it's going to become new, and it's become for the rest of us. This friggin' thing, this what's going on in the NFL and about domestic abuse and about softening our sports mind, it's bigger than some guy just making the NFL look bad. And I understand where you're coming from, Dave.
But it's
not
like, look,
these guys beat their wives, you have to let them go. Here's the problem. You're setting legal precedents, and the legal precedents could affect the common man.
The precedent's already set.
We argue not. Well, first of all, it's probably illegal already. But they're not. They're going to look the other way because it's the National Hockey League, because it's Major League Baseball, and that's what I'm worried about. We're not talking here about sticking up for a jock that's really rich because we want the LA Kings to win. None of us are Kings fans. None of us, especially Jeff. Right? What we're talking about is if this continues, you, the citizen, can be accused of domestic abuse, whether you're a man or a woman, because eventually they're going to have to apply it both ways. You could be accused, and you could lose your job, and they could not pay you, and then when you fucking don't have the money to sue them, they're going to sit there and point to the NFL, the NHL, and say, look, they suspended their guys for 2 fucking months, and they weren't even guilty. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with domestic violence. It has everything to do with due process. And if the corporations, any corporation, doesn't have to, can do that to you, where you can't even defend yourself, and we live in a capitalist society, we need to defend ourselves with money. With money. Then we're all screwed as men, and that's what this is about.
They're not losing their pay, though. They're not losing.
They're not losing their pay. My point is, we will lose our pay.
But that's a different argument.
It's
that's a completely different argument.
Look, I'm giving you the snowball effect.
If the precedent is there, hold on. If the precedent is there that these people who are losing their jobs, or not losing their jobs, getting suspended, these NFL players are getting, NHL players are getting suspended with pay, then that's the precedent. The precedent doesn't change.
Bullshit. Because the next,
side.
the guys lower in the totem pole,
precedent.
the corporation will take more of a chance. What's better than suspending something? Suspending without pay. That's less off your books.
It's a completely different argument.
No, I don't think so at all. And I got to be honest with you, I don't want a downward spiral. I don't want a downward spiral. All right, listen, we're coming to the end of the time. I love all this fighting this week. It's actually kind of fun.
I love it.
No, it's a fucking great show, by the way. Fucking Dave on. He starts fighting with everybody. All right, finish it up, Jeff, and we got to go.
Okay, last night in the Southern Professional Hockey League between the Peoria Rivermen, former Blues AHL affiliate, and the Huntsville Havoc, the Rivermen were up 2-1, and stupid tab scrolled up on me.
Just give me the rest of the story. I think I know what you're going to tell us.
Yeah. Basically, Havoc forward Justin Cedar collided with Peoria's Dennis Sicard and landed on his skate, cutting his thigh. And blood started pouring on the ice. He was helped off the ice on a stretcher. And the two coaches were on a call with the league president, and they agreed to suspend the game.
Did you just say something bad happened to Jean-Luc Picard?
No.
That would be
Suspend the game. Did you see this? I have not seen this clip. I heard it's pretty gory. Did you see this, Jeff?
I haven't watched the actual clip.
It just happened before we went on. That's the thing. Or at least we were only made aware of it on Puck Daddy before it went on. Suspend the game. That's bizarre, right?
Did anybody suspend the game when Richard Zednick took Sweet Chin music to his neck?
What about that years ago, like in the 80s when I was a kid, I think before, when that guy in the Capitals got his throat cut? And one of the guys in the bench actually showed his throat up right in the ice. I don't know. Suspend the game.
And it all depends on how much, fucking blood there is. Yeah, the last thing you want to do is like playing fucking hockey on something that looks like a.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's just too horrifying. Okay, I can swallow that. But I got to be honest. In general, I don't really get that.
But what was the goalie's name? Who
he got his throat. What was the goalie's name that got his throat cut? That was years ago. I was a kid. Oh God,
I know it was the Blues were in that game. That's the
guy in the Capitals, I think it was. And oh God, it was horrible. The goalie just comes up like this immediately and looks like a nothing play. And you just see the blood. It was one of the most hard. I remember when I think it was Warner Wolf, a famous New York sports broadcaster. He was like, "Take the kids out of the room. What we're about to show you." I mean, it was like that, man. A lot of skate injuries of late. I don't remember this many happening when I was a kid. I wonder why that is. Are they just that much sharper?
Not for nothing, but you went really high at the beginning of that sentence. I thought you were going to sing like a fucking chorus.
Go fuck off. Yeah. Is that all you got? Is that all you got? You've been drinking too much. You've been drinking too much.
I only had a beer. I'm not even drunk.
Did you really? You're a lot of fun. Is that all you got?
Yeah.
Good. All right, everybody. Hey, listen, we're going to play an ad, but we're going to play an ad for In the Crease with Tommy C. Ignore the time. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Watch everything else, and we'll come back with the plugs and say goodbye to everybody. All right, everybody. Goodbye. Hey, if you like Shot from the Point Live, check out our daily hockey podcast here on the Shot from the Point. Always forget to fucking mute your goddamn microphone, Jeff! Me, Tommy C, and the great Dead on Dave. That's In the Crease with Tommy C, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Thursday.
And this is the Joe Cronin Show, a wrestling talk show with f***ing attitude.
Get yourself some DDP yoga or else. Bang.
Thanks, DDP.
Awesome. Let's do this! Yo, Joe, the first time I ever seen your show, it was pretty awesome.
You're one of the best I've seen so far doing live streams.
Hey, Joe Cronin, what's going on? And I just want to tell you that your show is awesome. I enjoy listening to you guys at work.
Joey, you're the best wrestling guy on YouTube.
So that we would not, you know what I mean, be able to really hijack the show.
Explain why you're taking time off. What hurts, CM Punk? Did your brother take some money from you again? Is that what hurts?
There's just one thing that I wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah?
And that was the Zack Ryder versus Fandango match. And I feel like they're going to give Zack Ryder a push soon.
Off a cliff?
All right. Good night, everybody.
Cena. That's incredible. You know my top 5 wrestler list is?
John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena.
Bam Bam Bigelow. Sting. Ultimate Warrior. X-Pac.
I hope Joe's recording this.
Hey, let's face it. NHL fans love EA's NHL series. NHL 15 demo is now upon us. And for all you old farts and cats that live out in bumblefuck Winnipeg, it's like pull hockey without the pulls. Now, if you're looking to stay on top of NHL 15 gaming this year, have I got the community for you. Take your ass right over to Facebook, type in EA Sports, NHL Gaming, and Fans. Look at this site. It's beautiful. Now, you're probably asking yourself, hey, Tommy, why are you asking me to like another dumb Facebook site? Well, first of all, jerk, it's not dumb. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Second of all, it don't cost you nothing, so just like it anyway. Okay, Slappy, now that you like the Facebook site, why don't you take your ass over to their YouTube channel and subscribe. Check it out. They already got NHL 15 videos from Xbox One. Unbelievable. Links below. Check it out. A Facebook site, a great community, funny vibes, trash talk, a YouTube channel, and they're gonna get sick interactive on Twitch. What the hell else do you want? Okay, let's pretend for a second that you're not already subscribed to Shot from the Point, which contains Shot from the Point Live, the most badass hockey talk show podcast, live broadcast in all the known land, much less YouTube. So if you haven't done it already, do it now. Subscribe right now. On Shot from the Point Live, we say things like fuck and shit, and that guy sucks, unlike ESPN or Hockey Night in Canada. And if you don't like that, I don't care. Go listen to Bob McKinsey. Look, this is the front page of the Shot from the Point Productions channel, and that's my show playing in the trailer part. Look at me, I'm on the left, and those are the two goofballs on the right that work for me. They do what they're told. I would also really appreciate it if you check out Shot from the Point Hockey. It's also a Facebook page, and it's a good way to keep up with our broadcast. Now! EA Sports and NHL Gaming and NHL Gaming fans, plus Shot from the Point, we're in bed together. So get over, subscribe, like, do whatever the hell you got to do, and if you didn't understand, go back to the video and figure it out anyway. I'm Tommy C, and I am fucking out. Yeah. Also, if you want to go to all those great stuff, I would check out, I haven't done this in a while, JohnFreemanMusic.com, 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 the official musician of the Shot from the Point YouTube channel. He's got all his equipment back up, and he's ready to take your order if you got a dope podcast, and he can make you this great, freaking awesome theme. Listen to this. Now, you couldn't do drum beats like that on Fruity Loops at home, could you? I'm sure he's going to appreciate that advertisement. No, but check out John Freeman. I love my theme, and it's been there since the beginning, except when we used Clutch and YouTube told us to stop. Whatever. Hey, I cut this promo, like this gangster promo, and I'm actually waiting to find out if it's like legal. So what I did is I put it on my daughter's channel to see if they give me a strike. And if they don't give me a strike in like 48 hours, I'll run it for next week. And then I'll give you guys the link after this. So hopefully they won't hit both the channels. But I used the song. I didn't monetize it. Don't plan to. But I don't want to get any bullshit. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing is I want. Don't ignore the advertisement. Increase Tommy C 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I got to be honest with you. I don't want to offend Dead on Dave, but I think we should go with Dave Rose tomorrow, Dead on Dave. I think you got a lot on your plate tonight because you got to do your plug for your thing now. What? Wait a minute. I didn't unlock your thing. Oops. Oh. Sorry. No, you know why I do that? Because fucking what's-his-face takes his headset off, which I wish he'd get rid of, Jeff. And he goes, every time I go to the commercial, I hear, makes me fucking batshit. And I always forget that. I was like, oh, God, because Jeff's going to take his thing when we go to the commercial. So
that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
No, I got no problems at all.
Purpose?
Maybe you do it on purpose, douche.
Yeah, I got no problems at all.
I hope the Blues lose every game this year.
Take the chair tomorrow, brother. It's all yours.
Yeah, I think. Can you do it, Dave Rose? Before I mean,
10 a.m.
Eastern Standard. Can you? Are you Central or Eastern?
Somebody said something about daylight savings. When is that? That's November. Oh, that's next week.
Next month for you. We already did ours now, so it's going to be a little different for me. I think that's going to be 9 for me.
I had no idea.
No, don't worry about don't worry about me. I'll worry about
the calendar here. So tomorrow,
10 a.m. Eastern Standard. Can you do it?
Do it.
5 minutes early, and then we're gonna go hit it. We're gonna hit it like a Puerto Rican whore. All right. Dead on Dave, why don't you tell everybody what's going on tonight because you got a big night ahead of you.
Yeah, we got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Join me over with the Joe Cronin show crew, probably on Spectrum Gamer. God, I'm fucking drunk. Spectrum Gaming 617, where we will be doing not only a prediction show, not a prediction show, a prediction show for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but we will also be doing the live pay-per-view review directly after. So a whole bunch of us tonight. Be a lot of fun. So check that out, and also make sure you can check me out. What happened?
Yeah. I am dominating.
Make sure you check me out on Twitter at DeadOnDaveV and my own little channel, my rinky-dink little channel, The Dead on Dave on YouTube.
I am dominating.
You have a show called Between the Ropes, right?
Yes, I do. I totally with Jeff Huffman, and
Yeah.
we did not do it this week because I'm a lazy fuck, and it didn't make a lot of sense not to do it. So I went and released a little video explaining all of that. Thanks for plugging my show, Dave. I appreciate that because I'm
very
useless.
nice, yeah. And then Jeff Huffman, who's otherwise known as Grand Slam. Oh wow, look at me, I'm losing my voice. Hold on. All right, Jeff Huffman, otherwise known as Grand Slam 87 on YouTube, and I'd hope everybody that subs or listening right now would go over there and sub now.
You can see me dominate people on NHL, Battlefield, Call of Duty, Madden, and MLB, all that stuff. If you want to find me on Twitter, it's also at Grand Slam 87, and that is also my PlayStation ID if you want to play some PlayStation 4. There you go.
I am dominating.
That's my favorite. That's
right.
really my favorite. This is my other.
Yeah, I actually was dominating a guy, 42 shots to 13, and he beat me 2-1.
Yeah, sounds like a Blackhawks game.
Did it go something like this? You ever hear that one?
Yeah, pretty much.
My favorite.
Pretty much.
Shot score. And so you make sure you check out Grand Slam 87 right here on YouTube. That's www.youtube.com. Grand Slam, as in the type of home run, 87. Give him a sub. Give me a sub. You should give him a sub. Even if you don't watch his videos, make him feel good.
Yeah, make me feel better about myself.
Dave Rose, you have anything to plug? Because I don't know.
Yeah, sure. If you don't like what I have to say, or you want to give me a death threat, maybe the best place to do so is Twitter. So at Devious Dave Rose. Now, if you're too stupid to know how to spell devious, I suggest that's just
Dave's a mean girl.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I laughed over it. You got to say it again, Dave. How do you spell devious? I don't know how to spell devious, which is horrible.
Well, if you can't spell devious, you can go to Google and try to type it in, and it might suggest something, but, that's just me. So,
yeah. There you go.
That's a little tip I don't usually give to the haters because, I like to have fun where they try to fuck up with their text, their Twitter responses and stuff. But, hey, I'll give you guys that step up. I'm so fucking good
here's the
that
best
you guys
part
can
because
try to,
Dave Rose is a survival expert and he knows about guns and stuff. If he loses the argument, he'll personally come over to his house and cut your throat. So,
yeah, don't worry. If you need any of this information, he'll be the guy outside your Circle K handing you a pamphlet later on tonight. Don't worry about
it. That was so mean. Well, you've been christened, Dave. No one could say there was anybody who wasn't hard on you. You've been christened. That was fucking mean. All right, you get an MVP today. That was a good one. Ball busting. All right, I think it's time for us then. Oh, God, we're 10 minutes overtime. I hate when I do that. Oh, it's horrible. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. We had a great show today. Very argumentative, covered a lot of issues. I think we covered everything but the Avs.
Fucking great.
We covered everything but the Colorado Avalanche, if you really think about it, which we touched on briefly. And they suck because they don't have Paul Stastny. It's obvious. It's the numbers are in. Paul Stastny's on the Blues. There's your problem.
Oh, now quickly, I've got to say,
well, sure.
You can't spell analytics without anal.
I just uncued the epic, but I'll give you another one. Hold on. Eppies. We don't give out Eppies every week, do we, Dave? Oh, you're never here anymore.
I'm never here. I know.
Yeah, you don't give out Eppies. You got the first one, I think. I just kept. I think you're the first time I ever used it. I just kept playing it to interrupt you. It was funny.
Yeah, you did. My God.
It was a way long time ago, well over 2 years ago. Yeah, well, all right, everybody. Thank you very much for listening to Shot. See how good I look? I'm a friggin' sexy bitch. Look at me.
Dude,
God, I got the
motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm beautiful. I'm fucking beautiful. Ryan Lampert with losing all his hair and shit and being a miserable bastard. Let me tell you something. If you're dating Ryan Lampert right now, I will show you a wonderful time. I could take you all across Europe. You know what? I'll listen to what you have to say, and I won't be awkward wherever I go or not talk when you meet your new friends, because I can talk and I can relate to people, and I'll bang you senseless. I'll make you tingle in places where you didn't think you had those places, but you have to be Ryan Lampert's girlfriend or wife. Then you give me a call. right? There you go. What do you think of that?
Hey, and I could take you down to Ferguson and we could dodge some bullets. Man.
Yeah. That's Jeff is like, Jeff. I'd like to meet you. I'll take you down to Ferguson.
Out a lot, Jeff.
Hey, here's where I'm going to end this. Jeff, buy a gun. They're not going to indict that cop.
No, not now. Not after what came out this weekend. They're not.
They're not. I said that. What did I say that like a month ago, Dead on Dave?
Evidence is there now, buddy.
Yeah, they're not indicting that cop. That's what it looks like. I'm not 100% sold on what story's what, but they're not indicting that cop. They don't got the evidence.
Is there now. It's almost a done fucking deal. You might
Let's
want
put
to
it this way. Let's put it this way. If that cop and I am not pro police by any means anymore. If that cop murdered that kid, let's pretend he did. Guess what? He got away with it because they don't got enough evidence. So this is like
the autopsy came back. The results are there.
Yeah.
It does not support what some of the fucking people were saying.
Yeah, but you could also run the inconclusive rap, and
They're not though. They're saying it. The report now is they're saying that it supports the cop's story almost to a fucking T.
So that's the bottom line. If it supports the cop's stories, whether he killed him or not,
buckle up, Ferguson, because more violence is coming.
Hey Jeff, you want to come to
funny thing. I just saw on the news yesterday that they're trying to redo the image of Ferguson. They're like, oh, you can come to this fun place called Ferguson, and they're like standing at a go-kart track.
I am dominating.
What is this? 1994? A go-kart track?
Yeah, well, the image of Ferguson.
I think it was a go-kart track. They're like, oh, come see this beautiful place.
Go-kart.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to Shot from the Point Live. We'll be back 3 p.m. Sunday and every Sunday, unless we otherwise say so. What's that?
So they're probably practicing drive-bys in the go-karts.
All right. And on that note, thank you very much for listening to Shot from the Point Live. We really appreciate it. Hope you sub and like and follow us on Twitter and do all that other stuff. By the way, gear is coming really soon. Thanks to Dave Rose. As soon as Zazzle gets their act together, because I sent him all my stuff. And I hope they see you next week. Make sure you check us tomorrow at 10 a.m. Me and Dave Rose at In the Crease with Tommy C. Peace. And see you later. Love ya. Bye.
I am dominating.
Yeah.
Back to you guys.
You do that, you go to the box, 2 minutes by yourself, and you will feel shame.
Alright, everywhere I go, people keep asking me, Dan, whose side are you on? There's this big battle going on right now between pirates and ninjas. There's people fighting over which one will win a fight or which are better, pirates and ninjas. So people keep asking me, Dan, whose side are you on? And all I can say is, I don't give a fuck.
In on Colson. Fake the
I don't know. I'm wearing pink and kissing, guys. Anyhow.
Oh, Jesus. Did it stop? I don't even know it stopped.
What stopped?
So I don't know if it was like it was Java error on the page, but it didn't stop. I don't want to fucking record it locally. All right, you still listening? Fuck you!